Say, would you play the Zombie, oh zombie.
Zombie, oh zombie.
Zombie, oh zombie.
Zombie, oh zombie.
Zombie not go go unless you tell him to go. Zombie not go stop unless you tell him to stop. Zombie not go turn unless you tell him to turn. Zombie not go think unless you tell him to think. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie not go go unless you tell him to go. Zombie not go stop unless you tell him to stop. Zombie not go turn unless you tell him to turn. Zombie not go think unless you tell him to think. Zombie, oh zombie. Zombie, oh zombie. Tell him to go straight. Na joro jara joro. No break, no jam, no sense. Na joro jara joro. Tell him to go kill. Na joro jara joro. No break, no jam, no sense. Na joro jara joro. Tell him to go quench. Na joro jara joro. No break, no jam, no sense. Na joro jara joro. Go and kill. Go and die. Go and quench. Put up all the verse. Go and quench. Go and kill. Go and die. Put up all the verse. Go and die. Go and quench. Go and kill. Put up all the verse. Joro jara joro. Zombie when I one way. Joro jara joro. Zombie when I one way. Joro jara joro. Zombie when I one way. Joro jara joro. Attention, quick march, slow march, left turn, right turn, about turn, double up, salute, open your hands, stand at ease, fall in, fall out, fall down, dead ready. Attention, quick march, slow march, left turn, right turn, about turn, double up, salute, open your hands, stand at ease, fall in, fall out, fall. Order. Attention, quick march, slow march, left turn, right turn, back turn, double up, salute, open your hands, stand at ease, fall in, fall out, fall down, get ready. Attention, quick march, slow march, left turn, right turn, back turn, double up, salute, open your hands, stand at ease, fall in, fall out, fall down, get ready. Hot! Order! One more time, everybody. Attention, quick march, slow march, left turn, right turn, about turn, double up, salute, open your hands, stand at ease, fall in, fall out, fall down, get ready. Attention, quick march, slow march, left turn, right turn, about turn, double up, salute, open your hands, stand at ease, fall in, fall out, fall down, get ready. Hot! Order! Miss.
Hello.
Zombie not go go unless you tell him to go. Zombie not go stop unless you tell him to stop. Zombie not go turn unless you tell him to turn. Zombie not go think unless you tell him to think. Zombie oh zombie. Zombie oh zombie. Zombie not go go unless you tell him to go. Zombie not go stop unless you tell him to stop.
Uh,
Zombie not go turn unless you tell
Hello.
him to turn.
Welcome to another episode of Agbadocast. Sorry for the little bit delay. Challenges. We have some technical issues that we need to resolve. But we thank you for staying put and staying tuned. So right now, we just want to say we're grateful for you to be here. So I'll be handing over the mic to uh, Mr. Reston Tedeke. Is in the studio with us right now. Bro, like,
Yes, I'm in the studio, but hello, good evening, everybody. You know how it is with new programs, new projects, new setup, but it's always very important to do what needs to be done for the sake of what Nigeria knows how to do, and that is agriculture. You know, we have been saying this a million and one times over the years. Until we get agriculture right, we cannot get Nigeria right. So from Gatti, from the Agbadocast studio, Agbadocast studio, the Energy is Here studio comes another episode of our continuing education of the Nigerian people about what must be done and must be done right. Agriculture is the foundation of our growth. Agriculture is the foundation of our existence. Agriculture is the foundation of our development. Here, in this studio, in the farm, in the evenings, our job is to look at solutions. Look at our challenges and solutions to our challenges. Look at our backwardness and solution to our progress. Look at our failures and solutions to our success. So today is a continuation of that program, continuation of that conversation. We need to be having this conversation because without this conversation, we cannot really say that things can work. This conversation would make sure that we repeat what needs to happen every week, twice in a week, and communicate to Nigerians what really matters. So thank you. Of course, in the studio, as always, today you have myself, you have Mr. Francis, Badcash, he represents Badcash, he's also a representative of Agbado Evolution and Agbadocast, all of us. And of course, you have Mr. Mike, who is the developer for Agbado Evolution, a member of Agbadocast, and we are all a family of Nigerians who are interested in making this country work. So I believe very strongly that you're all going to enjoy this. As always, you're all going to see it as a tool of education, a tool of agriculture, as well as a tool of continuing conversation for the greater good of the Nigerian nation and the Nigerian state. So welcome, and I hope we're going to have a good day. Thank you.
all right. There's a good introduction from our convener, our president, our master, everything. So right now, quickly, we want to hear your comments because we're late on the show. We actually put up this that okay, you can actually contact us through WhatsApp. You can send voice notes. You can contribute to today's program, and the title is The Future of Food, Plans and Integration. So before we go in, quickly, we want you to send in your voice notes, which we will play on the podcast, so that people can hear where you are from and how you are. How have you been with us from the beginning? Now, remember, this is the second episode, and today we are going to be talking about the future of food. The future of food. Everybody needs food. I believe Seth say, well, you don't eat this evening before you start listening to us. So that's actually what we are here to discuss today. So I'll hand over to a brother here. So tell us, what do you think food is?
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. To me, food is life. Food is culture. Food is whatever that you can think. Food is nature, and the future of food lies in the ordinary farmers across the country, and the future of food also lies in the ability of people like Agbadocast Technology Limited to be able to provide the resources that is needed for them to continue to produce food for the masses and for people generally. The future of food lies in the ability of, let me say, government now to provide basic infrastructure that is needed at the rural level for them to be able to make up productivity in the agricultural sector. The future of food lies in looking at alternative financing solutions that can drive productivity. And the future of food ultimately lies in Agbatoki. So that's why we are pushing Agbatoki, and that it's going to change how food is produced, and it's going to change the rural productivity of our people across the globe. It's not only limited to Nigeria. So when my brother asked me that what is food, I think food is life. Without food, we are nobody. Thank you for the opportunity to open the floor.
Ross, the future of food. What is the future of food?
Life is food itself. Life, the very air you breathe, that any one of us breathes, is food. Growth is food. It is, and development itself is even food. When you look at a human being, if you don't fulfill the basics of life, you cannot fulfill the destiny of your life. So you can look at it in the context of food is life. I always say that one of the things that the West and the developed nations have done is that they have conquered food. They have conquered food. Until and unless you conquer food, you cannot really grow. So food needs to be conquered by the third world countries. Food needs to be something that every single Nigerian, every single African, every single member of the developing world must conquer. The only reason the Americans can begin to think about innovation, technology, and so on and so forth is because they have gone beyond the level of food. The biggest nations in the world have conquered food. They did not conquer food by the private sector's investment in agriculture, no. They conquered food by government deliberate policy with regards to how to make agriculture work. Deliberate policies of government. You see, food, as simple as it sounds, requires a complex web of real intervention for it to work. Real intervention by government for it to work. It requires infrastructure. Who builds infrastructure if not government? The private sector does not build infrastructure. It doesn't only require infrastructure, it requires financing. Who has the financing to be able to invest in agriculture massively without government. Government, they say, is the lender of last resort. Government, they say, is the ultimate investor. Government, they say, is the Agba of agriculture, of business, and of life, and of food itself. So you need infrastructure to be provided by government. You need real investment in agriculture by government. Then, more importantly, you need the population to key into the ideology of food production, which is where agriculture becomes a culture. When governments invest in the processes of agriculture and the people tap into that process, what happens is that the people becomes a productive structure, productive component of your infrastructure. You see? So the people becomes the infrastructure, and the infrastructure support the people. So that food productivity, growth of the people is now tied to the overall growth of the country. So you see, we are just talking about food, and we're looking about what? Infrastructure. We're looking about what? Financing. We're looking about what? Human capital development as a part of that infrastructure. All of these leads to what? To stability, to availability, to growth, to progress, and to opportunities. So you see, food is life. Food is growth. Food is survivability. Food is the commitment of government towards the progress of our people. Food is government saying, I am willing to ensure that the lives of my people are okay, for them to become innovative, for them to think, and it become a critical component of the society. Food was the past. Food is the present. And food is the future. Thank you.
Food is the past.
Food is the present.
Food is the present.
Food
is the
future. But boss, it is often said that you know, you say it yourself that agricultural financing is very, very expensive, because it's actually food, it's actually culture, it's actually what is keeping us alive. It is very expensive. And how do you think we can, apart from, it is you thinking outside the box that brought about collateralizing the NFDC's farm estate, because you understand the essence of financing to agricultural development and real productivity. But government, we always tell you that we don't have the financing, and we have to borrow, or I don't know. So that is always the argument, that the money is not available when they want to budget at across level, even at the subnationals. The budgeting for agriculture is patchy, and sometimes I used to look at it as if, because they say in my parlance, they used to say that a pastor does not have I don't know how to say it in English. Say pastor no dey get value for where he come from. Is it because food is life and everyone feels okay, you can just play around it? Or I don't understand, because when government wants to speak, they tell you that we don't have the resources. So what should be done? What should be done?
So the thing is this: government has deliberately failed in her responsibility to the people. Deliberately, and I'm talking about Nigerian government. They have deliberately failed in the business of food production. You have to be deliberate in your planning to be successful in food production. Our governments have been deliberate in their planning to fail. There has been a deliberate process to fail the people. Think about it this way. You know, when we have this conversation, we seem to ignore what we used to have. There was a period that rubber, Michelin, were producing rubber in Nigeria in the 80s, 70s and 80s. And the raw material rubber was produced in Nigeria. Because I want to drive you to the deliberate government deliberate planning to fail. What happened to rubber plantation in the south and the southeast, and even the southwest? The policies of government were deliberately driven to kill rubber by importation. When you decide to import what you can produce, you will kill what you are capable of producing. Let me repeat myself. When you decide to import what you can produce, you will kill your capacity of production. So government was deliberate in killing the rubber sector. So Michelin finally what? Started importing tires instead of producing tires here in Nigeria. That is rubber, right? Okay, let us move to palm oil. Nigeria has the land and the capacity to become the largest producer of palm oil in the world. Nigeria can earn $20 billion every year from palm oil alone. What did you do? You deliberately refuse to invest in plantation because you have this miracle mindset. Because you have this miracle thinking that God will do it. God will not do it. God has no business to do it for man. What a man is capable of doing for himself. So, your policies killed palm oil production. First, it killed palm plantations. It killed palm plantations. You know, our people have a weakness in long-term planning. I am an example in Gate. We can talk about Agbadocast now because we have been deliberate over the last 6 years, even with the challenges that we have had, to do what? To make a difference. You get the point now? So, we deliberately killed, because of our short-term thinking, we killed palm plantation projects nationwide that would have given us the capacity of earning. By now, when we are shouting dollar, 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 we would have earned, at least we have been earning about $10 to $20 billion every year if we're deliberate enough to what? In palm. So we killed that process. 2, 3, cassava. We are the largest producer of cassava in the world. But when we talk about value addition, Thailand makes more money from cassava in a year than we do. And we can make 30, 40, $50 billion from cassava in the next 10 years. What was our policy? Import everything attached to cassava as raw material and complain every time. Government will wake up with policies and be complaining. And you know, when government stand up in front of the camera, they say, Nigeria is the largest producer of cassava in the world. We will do something. You have been doing something since 1960. What have you done? Particularly since 1999. With your exploding population, cassava cannot become a part of your own growth. So you see, I can go on and on and on and on. I've talked about rubber. I've talked about palm. I've talked about cassava. Should we talk about cocoa? I want to build the Southwest primarily from cocoa. What is happening to cocoa in the Southwest? The chocolate, the cocoa industry. Look at cocoa. Spiking to almost $10,000 per ton. Cote d'Ivoire is smiling to the bank. Ghana is smiling to the bank. Nigeria is crying about dollar. You see it? Those who are putting the effort are celebrating. Those who have not put in the effort are what? Are shouting about the value of dollar.
Yeah.
So you see, now to finally close that with regards to what you stated. Now you're talking about talking about government and lack of investment, and they're talking about no money, no money, no money. They have money to pad the budget. They have money to do constituency projects. That are mostly, when you see somebody that constituency projects, they are like offers and sacrifices to the gods, the ancestors. Okay, you understand? You have money for wheelbarrows. You have money for cars. You have money for sewing machine.
For even tractors.
In short, the recent money they have is to subsidize Hajj.
They are even buying food, feeding the.
So you subsidize Hajj. You subsidize pilgrimage to Jerusalem and Saudi Arabia, but you don't have money for agriculture.
Making money for Israel.
The thing is this, like I've always said, we should not have problem with productivity inflation. The inflation that is focused on Nigeria producing. Look at it. If you look at the inflationary index, all the ones that are coming out from MBS, right? Almost all of them, what are they? They are all telling you that the inflation in rural Nigeria is not as high as inflation in urban Nigeria. It means that no matter how horrible things are, there is still small food in rural Nigeria. Exactly. Now, supposedly, now look at the context, look at the challenge here. There's more money in urban Nigeria than in rural Nigeria. There's less inflation in rural Nigeria than in urban Nigeria. What does that tell you? Even though we don't get money for village, we dey see food shop. No be so? Even though they get money for town, they know they see food shop. Government has to be deliberate. I have said it before. The budget of the Ministry of Agriculture is about 300 billion. What is that? What do you want to do with it? Settle boys? And you boys? I want here. Oh yeah, you take this one. Is that what you want to do? If you want to borrow money, I see what you go and borrow. I have no problem in you borrowing for agricultural productivity. Just produce food. Because if we get agriculture right, we get industrialization right. Because from the soil will come machineries to farm. From that soil will come support for the medical industry. From that soil will come even mining is from the soil. So on the soil lies the future and the greatness of the Nigerian people. So let me close by saying this. Barack Obama said, he said, a voice can change a house. If a voice can change the room, it can change the town. If you can change the town, it can change the city. If you can change the city, it can change the country. And if you can change the country, it can change the world. Let me put it this way. A farmer can feed a home. If a farmer can feed the home, a farmer can feed the village. If a farmer can feed the village, a farmer can feed the town. If a farmer can feed the town, he can feed the state. If a farmer can feed the state, he can feed the country. And if a farmer can feed the country, he can feed the world. Let us support farmer, make it easier for the farmer to survive, to feed the home, feed the town, feed the state, feed the country, and let us feed the world. That is what I can tell them. I'm going to borrow money to do it. Don't tell me you cannot borrow money. Thank you.
At least if they are borrowing money and they are producing, that is productivity.
Exactly.
And it's going to come back to the economy.
The future of food. This is like a detailed explanation about the future of food. Now, when you look at several things, everybody, our forefathers have left and gone. Some of them don't live very quick because they eat food.
Eat better food.
Eat better, but not die good.
Yes.
So the food is actually, if you look at, if you see the word, the future of food is actually food is our future. Because without the strength, because you derive strength from food. When you eat, then you can be able to have that strength to be able to think. When you eat, you can walk into an office and sign documents. Nobody they go sign up. All these are ministers they go sign. They sign with hungry stomach. No, the future of food. So that's the reason why we need to put food on everybody's table, so that at the end of the day, like we said previously, people will not be holding gun instead of holding hoes to go and farm. People will not be holding machetes to go and kill somebody or kidnappers here and there. So the future of food is basically we setting the foundation now, so that tomorrow, because just like bros have said, many nations are benefiting from several things that have happened because they make deliberate efforts, deliberate change, deliberate shift from what is the norm to something that people will look at as foolishness. So right now they are reaping the fruit of their labor, because they sow. When people were looking at waiting concern me with cocoa, waiting concern me with palm oil, waiting concern me with this, but we actually are suffering now. Why? Because we were toying with the days that were supposed to be toiling. You understand? We were toying with them. The days that we're supposed to go on our knees and toil and sow is the day that we are just toying around. Everybody's just playing around. We are playing with every single resources that we had, especially with the resources from crude oil. We toyed with it. Something that we're supposed to take it from there and put it inside the ground, put it inside agriculture, put it inside where things can become better. But we toyed with it. And now we are shouting that rice is 100,000 naira per 50 kg. This one is high, fuel is. Even we would even produce fuel is still up to us. I wonder. So the future of food is all about us starting now. If you don't start now, you can't get to the future. And never expect you to start journey, we just jump, go to the end. It is impossible. You know, if you just say you want go somewhere, you never start, you didn't fly.
Even if you want to walk, you have to take a step.
Bros, the person won't fly now. Witchcraft. See, food is not witchcraft. You know, if you just do abracadabra, make food appear, it's a lie. You have to sow it. We have to make deliberate effort to sow it. We have to make, see, it is our job. It is our responsibility. The moment we take that responsibility from us, others go to drum now, then we will not be suffering. So that's why when we're talking about the future of food, we're talking about what are we doing now so that tomorrow we can reap from it. So I don't. That's the one way I understand.
I totally support that, and but I would also want us to touch on Agbatoki itself, you know, as a component. Now, when a lot of people have heard about Agbatoki and in the development and what we are trying to do. Bros has always put it on his page, and there was even a comment today talking about mentorship. That you should start the mentorship. I think it's on your doing the catfish.
Yeah.
You posted.
Yeah.
So when we talk about Agbatoki, I want us to be able to tell the viewers and those listening that how does it affect productivity and food generally? How does Agbatoki really affect productivity and food generally? Because I would like you to
okay.
say that.
The thing is this. Primarily, it is important for us to understand why it became about, why we had to go, why it had to be Agbatoki. The biggest challenge the Nigerian farmer is facing is financing and infrastructure. If you solve the problem of finance and infrastructure, including mechanization, you have solved the problem of the Nigerian farmer. Because it is when you have money that you can do research. You know, people complain all the time. And they talk about Nigerian farmers' seed or yield. It's horrible. That is the truth. Now, the Nigerian farmers' animal, the hybrid, we produce. The what is horrible. That is the truth. The Nigerian farmer today, there is no money for him to do any form of research. There's no money for him to take care of his animal and his crops. He doesn't have money to take care of his staff, really. So majority of the Nigerian farmer are suffering from lack of adequate funding. And why is that? I'm going to use Nigeria as an example. On the average, with the recent MPR rate by the central bank at 24 point something, the minimum we can get loan from any Nigerian bank is 30%. Minimum is 30%. There is no agricultural man there who will take commercial bank with all of those requirements and make money at 30%. No. So access to capital is a crisis for the average Nigerian farmer. So you take out access to capital. What is the next thing? He does not have access to capital. Because he does not have access to capital, he cannot actually work with regards to the infrastructure. Government is supposed to provide infrastructure. Most Nigerian farmers provide infrastructure themselves. So because of access to capital, it doesn't have the infrastructure. So no capital, no infrastructure, low productivity, no productivity, and in most cases, horrible productivity. Now, so how do we then solve this problem? The traditional financial institutions have become so archaic in their thinking that they are all about the fancy fintech, new technology, and without the original God-given resources of man, food and agriculture. If you like, until you don't want to begin chop virtual food, food is still very important. You get the point? Exactly. How you want to take belly food? I like that. So what we did was, we have been here since 2017 as NFGCS Farmers State, Nigerian Farmers Group, and Cooperative Society. The biggest source of challenge we have had is financing. So whatever you see us build, we built with challenging finance. Let me call it that way. With finance that is not patient, with capital that is not patient, with capital that is in a hurry. Okay, I'll give you 10 million. I want the returns in 1 month. And most of the time, we'll take the money, and then in 1 month time, we'll begin to struggle to return it. That is exactly the foundation of Agbatoki. That is the foundation of Agbatoki. Agbatoki is coming in as a tool that ignores the traditional challenges of agricultural financing. It ignores that. It understands the traditional challenges. But using the blockchain technology deploys, I repeat, this technology for the greater good, yes, for the greater good of farmers across the world. How does it do that? This is it. It does that by first and foremost focusing on that technology that is disruptive, that does not rely on traditional institutions, that does not rely on traditional approaches, that does not rely on traditional foundations. I'm not talking about traditional in that context. Yeah. I'm talking about those who own the industry. Those who own the industry. No, we're saying something?
No, continue.
Good. Those who own the industry. Now, the key, sorry, they are adjusting something for me here. The key is this. The blockchain technology created a disruption in the financial world. Anybody, anywhere in the world can get involved in funding agriculture from any location. If I want a foreign financier to come in and fund the farm, most of the time you have to go to traditional institutions to collateralize, to do all of those. Now with the blockchain technology, you are creating smart contracts. Anybody from anywhere in the world can access the assets of the farm. And uniquely, our 70 million hectares of farmland is an asset. Government should begin to think about tokenizing it and selling it to the world. Real estate is improving by the day. Agriculture and food will be needed by the day, every day. So you see, it is that disruption that we have seen a solution. Disruption creates solution. Blockchain technology is now being deployed in the case with Agbadocast to be able to provide funding short term, medium term, and long term. Now, you know the uniqueness about blockchain technologies with a token like Agbadocast, there is always going to be improvement in value. So we are starting off at about 0.5 cents, which is currently about 650 naira. Yes. The projection is when people see the effort and the activities. And so let me break it down about the growth and about how people can begin to, about the 15 billion naira project can all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, over time becomes 10 million, becomes $50 million, $100 million. That money is coming in as investment into the project. Investment into what? Into productivity. So for example, we have a 30 tons per day rice mill, but the parboiling section can only give us maybe about 7 to 10 tons per day. Agbadocast will raise the resources to take that rice mill from 30 tons to 300 tons in the next 1 year. And the parboiling from 300 tons, from 7 tons to about 400, 500 tons a day. That is what? That is improvement. That is increase in productivity, improvement in capacity, and food availability. Increase in productivity, improvement in capacity, and food availability. That's exactly what that does to you. That is one. Two, ranch. Among all this community, we have about 6,000 cattle scattered among the communities. Agbadocast, we raise the resources to improve your cattle to well over 100,000 cattle in the next 1 year. Not just improving the cattle, but then you begin to create hybrid cattle. You begin to crossbreed and create cattle that can give you more milk. You're going to have markets around here. You're going to have hubs all the way from Kefi down to Goody and Lafia. You're going to register all the farmers along this stretch. So imagine having 100,000 farmers from Kefi on your way from Abuja to Lafia on your way to Makodi. Imagine that stretch, registering 100,000 farmers. Whose job?
With 10 hectares.
Even if it is 1 hectares. 1 hectare per farmer. You are going to be having, think about 100,000 hectares. Now imagine, let's say you're not doing up to 100. Let's say one plot. You have about 30 to 40,000 hectares. Now imagine cultivating from this wing, warehousing this food, processing it, adding value to it, because they don't carry. Let me use pigeon here. They don't carry selling of raw material cost this country. They get problem today.
No problem.
So from this wing, from Gate as a center, you have processing plants all over the place. Then from Kefi, mopping, pumping, and then you look the versatility, the massive magnitude of what we're trying to do is that from Lafia, from Kefi to Lafia, you are going to have channel of rain-fed dams all over this zone, so that all farmers are farming cassava all year round, farming yam all year round, maize all year round, cassava all year round, and then we're going to create a complete ecosystem. An ecosystem where we're going to be planting trees to ensure that the weather is cooler, climate change. We're going to have effective organic structure where all of the cattle along this area are going to be converted to waste for our animals, for our crops. We're also going to be creating biogas and alternative energy solutions in all of this zone. But this is going to be our zone. This zone, that is from Kefi all the way to Lafia, is going to be, like Mike, the devil always say, with the right thing being done, it's going to be $1 billion agricultural industrial zone in the next 2 or 3 years. Thanks to Agbatokin. So you see, let me come back to the core now. Agbatokin is going to disrupt agricultural financing in Nigeria. Now, imagine settling farmers from Kefi all the way to Lafia. Now, what are you going to do? That's going to be different from what has happened in the past. What are you going to do differently? One, farmers are giving money. One of the challenge of the Anchor Burras program, one of the challenge of the commercial agriculture scheme and the rest is you give the farmers money. Instead of giving him money, you give him input. The farmer, let me tell Nigerians, the farmer needs money as well as input. So in our case, what is going to happen? Francis, you've developed this, you put it down. So maybe by tomorrow, we're going to send it across most of them. In all of this stretch, take notes, from Kefi all the way to Lafia, we are raising 100,000 farmers. That 100,000 farmers needs, let us assume they need $1 million to cultivate 1 hectare. Instead of giving him $1 million, we'll give him 500,000 and give him input worth 500,000. And then between Kefi and Lafia, you are going to have not less than 1,000 extension workers, agricultural extension workers, young men, who will take off from Gati and go and supervise all the farm from Kefi to Lafia. We are not going to be like Nisal and CBN and all of them who are sitting in cozy offices in Abuja with hillocks. No, these essential workers are going to be on ground here, where they are going to move from farm to farm. Every community will have 1 or 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 essential workers to monitor their activities. We monitor their growth process. If it is cattle, we're monitoring the cattle with you. If it is maize, we're monitoring the maize with you. If it is ginger, whatever you are planting, we are there with you, all through the process. Now, let us assume at the end of the harvesting period, after calculating your sale and everything, it is 1.5 million. Fantastic. We split the proceeds 50-50. So give you 1 million, you made 1.5, you keep 250,000 and give us back what? You give us back 1 million, 250. You have made money, we have made money. What if it the case where you don't make money? And that's why I said the program you're developing, all these details we'll be able to pull it out by tomorrow. So they have access to it. What if it the case where you don't make money? Every farmer, if you're coming back with 700,000 out of 1 million, we are going to still give you about 200,000. Okay? And note it in your record that you're owing the project, you're owing Agbatokin. Then in the next farming season, we're still going to give you $1 million. So there's a recovery, but there's a continued productivity.
It's not with pressure.
It's no pressure. You're not putting on any collateral. Our extension workers are our collateral with you. They will monitor you. They will know your house. They will know your family.
No property from Abuja.
No property from Abuja, Lagos. No. They know your family. They know your community. They know your house. You see, we know how to collect our money if we want to collect it.
Yes.
Now, imagine this circle running up within the same place, and you have provided them water, infrastructure. You have provided them electricity, infrastructure. You have provided them basic assets, infrastructure. They are not providing all of this one. We are going to have 1,000 tractors packed here. 1,000 tractors that will be serving the whole of these axis. These axis will be we have the highest tractor density in the entire country. We are going to have that there. Agbatokin is going to make sure that between Kefi and Lafia, NFGCS Farm Estate, Agbado Evolution Technology Limited, have the highest tractor density in the whole of the country and one of the highest tractor density in the whole of Africa. So you see, disruption of the tradition, disruption of the process. This is what Agbatokin is here to do. And that's why we are confident. If Swinker could raise $5.7 million in a week, if Dexter can raise $30 million in an hour, if so many Nigerian meme coin token that have no value can be raising $1 million in a day, who says that we cannot raise $100 million in the next quarter? And then we cannot use that for real productivity while the value of your token is rising. If your value rises from 0.5 to $2 or $3 in the next 1 month, you know what that means? It means that anybody that puts $1 million down can be worth $3-4 million in the next couple of months. It means that Energy Farm Estate can be worth $50 million in the next couple of months. And that will be used to what? To build. So we're disrupting the Nigerian agricultural sector and making sure that the globe and food and the future of food that was yesterday, that is today, will still be the future of food tomorrow. Thanks to Agbado Evolution, Agbado Technology, Agbado token, the Agbado Evolution app.
Yeah, before I leave our developer, one other thing that my boss did not actually put in the frame is that is just phase 1 of over 25 phases that has been planned already. Phase 1 is targeting what he's talking about. That's phase 1. So if phase 1 you can achieve 100,000 farmers with 100,000 hectares at minimum, then you can imagine what phase 20 will be like when you get to phase 20. You want to talk of phase 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Because this country must witness something that it has not witnessed before. This is not a joke. This is real. Yeah. And that is why we say plans and integrations. These are what is. This farm estate will be replicated across all the 774 local governments. You will be touched. Your community. Agbado Evolution Technology Limited, Energy Farm Estate is coming to a community near you. That is what Agbatokin is all about. So my boss has shed light on just phase 1 of over 20 phases. So you can imagine, my brother, when we get to phase 20, and this is possible. He said it. You might not know Jester, you might not know Swinker, but these are uncollateralized assets, coins. These are not tokens, and they are raising money for whatever they want to do. The Agbatokin is raising money for productivity and provision of food. You are involved. You will be touched. It is coming to a community near you. That is what Agbatokin is all about. So I go to the developer now to shed more light on, because look, my brother, a lot of people always have fears around when they hear token, crypto, right? Yeah. Everybody thinks it's a deadly zone. Especially in our country, you must have been exposed to such stuff. When you hear crypto, they say no. What can you say about Agbatokin in that regard?
Okay. When we look at the blockchain world, ever since Bitcoin surfaced in the world, when it started, they started at zero. And people started buying into it from zero. You have 1, 2, now it's about $70-something thousand, which is almost 100 million naira, as it is now. Something that was just 1 naira before.
What is 100 million? 70-something thousand.
And that's what they say over 100 million. Now, when you look at that, and it's a volatile market that is not even pegged to anything. It is a blockchain that has a way it goes. But Agbatokin, it's something different, something unique, something that is going to empower the agricultural sector. Now, when we're talking about the future of food, now there cannot be a future if there is no financing. That's just it. There cannot be a future because the farmers need finance. And the food itself, even the farmer does not have a future without finance. So that's the reason why we said, okay, let's introduce Agbatoke. Let's make it something that anybody, anywhere in the whole wide world, even from Mars, even if you are from space, you can tap into staking in favor of agriculture. You can say, see, I want a change in agriculture. I want the future of food to be different from the present that we are in now. So, and that is the reason for Agbatoke, which simply means people are staking on behalf. Just like if you have, take for instance now, I want to use something as an example. You have a child that you send to school, right? What are you doing to that child? You are staking. The money you are putting for the child to go to school is you are staking in that child's life. You are putting impact. You are putting, resources. You are bringing things in the life of that child so that tomorrow that child can be a future. That child can be a president. That child can be a governor. So what we are doing is we are staking in favor of food so that tomorrow we can wake up and there is no hunger. Tomorrow we can wake up and there is no unemployment. Tomorrow we can wake up and there is no what again? Bandits.
There is no terrorism.
There is no terrorism because there is food. To be very frank with you, so if you look at west, south, east, north, and you come back to where you are, the problem that is happening all over is because there is no food. People kidnap people because they can't eat. They are kidnapping somebody so that they can have something to eat. So the moment somebody don't have anything to eat, go look for him, go take kidnappers. So that's the reason why we are asking people all over the world, all over Nigeria, that you are staking in favor. You are staking in favor of agriculture. You are staking in favor of food. You are staking in favor of employment. You are staking in favor of erasing banditry, kidnapping. You are staking in favor of majorly everything. Because the moment we can solve the problem of food, all this problem will how would they put it? Will just on their own gradually just delete. Erase. So Agbatoking is the future of financing. So that the future of food, we can start experiencing it now. The moment we can, stake. That's what we're saying, everybody. I made one illustration one time. I said, see, take for instance, Agbatoking is one AGBT is going for about, let's say, 650 naira. If every Nigerian from everywhere is saying, okay, let me just buy one AGBT. We have over 200 million people buying one AGBT. That's how much. We'll be having how much there is being stake so that they can be food. And as you are staking, it's not as if you are dashing it out. Don't think you are dashing it out. You are staking and you're also earning. Because the moment you stake it and there is food, people are buying it, you're also earning. Which means your one AGBT that you bought in favor of agriculture can become 2 AGBT tomorrow. So Agbatoking is the future of financing for agricultural productivity and sustainability, so that the future of food can be something that even our ancestors will be proud of us.
Yeah, Agbatoking is actually traditional. Agbatoking is traditional. Agbatoking is local, is original, and it's a seamless opportunity, I call it that, to be able to raise the needed financing in the agricultural sector. When I look at my data here, I see determination, I see focus, I see endless commitment to what is possible.
I like that.
in the agricultural sector. This man does not know anything. He sleeps agriculture, he eats agriculture, he plays with bad at everything. Practically, he's agriculture. Now, because there's nothing he wants to do. Before you know, you say my ancestor. So, and anybody who talks about my ancestor, boss, I want to ask you a frank question. Building energy sales. I know it has not been easy. I've been here couple of days now, I know waiting the happen. Sometimes
Days
they
have
hear
been a
the
month. Sometimes
even
they
fan
do month.
go dey even dey blow. AC sef dey blow out when the pressure come. But as it dey, because energy sales is central to whatever Agbatokin is going to be.
That's the foundation.
Yes,
That's the foundational.
It is.
The
I think it's
foundational,
Agbatokin sef. No,
yes.
in the real, in the other way, just like
yes,
food
it's
is
one of the
culture.
collateral. The
Yes.
foundation of the collateral.
The
So we are
native.
looking at
So,
several ones that
several
are going to
ones.
be coming up.
But before we start with several ones, this is where
No,
we are
this
starting.
is the history.
So, bro, what is the pain behind building energy sales farm estate? Because people must understand. You already say that, Francis. We have to understand context. If we don't understand context, we will not even understand our present, not to talk about our future. So let us understand the context behind the pain, the struggles that it took for energy farm estate to be standing since 2016. I am running a small business, Grand Francis Limited. I'm breaking, vending, doing, you know. I just look at what it is. I have a 1.5 cocoa hectare farm. I struggle most of the time. What does it take? This is over 1,000 hectares, running into over 3,000 hectares when you work this stretch. So what does it take to build this?
Well, the thing is this. There's something we saw today that said something about pain. I think the saying is, I'm trying to figure out if I still have it.
The price of progress is pain.
Yeah? The price of progress.
No growth without pain. No
the price of progress is pain. That is the popular saying. The price of progress is pain. So, and that's exactly what it has been over the last few years. Between 2017 and today, the price of progress has been painful. Very, very painful. But what is it that a man wants to do that is not painful? Which form of development and progress that you really want to focus on that is not painful? There's a popular saying that Rome was not built in a day. There's also another saying that success is what? It's multiple failures. If you fail and fail and fail and fail and fail again, it's because you want to succeed. If you don't want to succeed, you will not be failing. That is it. So, NFGCS Farm Estate is an embodiment of challenge and an embodiment of failures, but with a single focus on what is achievable. That is what is leading to Agbatokin today. Okay, because, you know, I told some of our early investors that we have to build value to have something of value. Listen, we have to build value to have something of value. If you don't build value, you cannot have anything of value. The process of building value, there must be challenges. I remember when we came here in 2017, we were nearly chased out. But those who chased us yesterday are working for us today. Those who said we were going to die yesterday are not believing in our story today. Those who felt that it was the end, when I had some challenges recently, are now coming out to say, this thing is going to work. Because we were relentless in our pursuit of a vision capable of changing a generation. Relentless pursuit, vision, with the capacity of changing a generation. You see? So if I want to go into details, we will not live here today. The podcast will be a 24-hour podcast. So we were not going into details. But one of the foundation of NFGCS Farm Estate was urban-rural migration. Let us leave the cities where there are no jobs and move to the villages where there are farms. So you farm to feed your country. That was the vision. And our dedication to it was simple. Use basic and simple technology, what is available in rural Nigeria, to build a community of farmers whose goal, whose aim is on how to make your country work and make your country better. And that's how you see what is here is what we call the Boko Haram net. Simple. Wood, simple. Math, simple. Very simple things. Foundation, NFDCS, that led to that has now been taken over by Agbado Evolution Technologies and is now producing Agbatoken as an app, which is a blockchain technology capable of changing our story for the greater good of our people. So for us, the struggle has been a blessing. The challenge has been progress. The pains has been joyful. And the solutions have been visible in the actions we took yesterday for tomorrow to be better. So food is all about security. And we focus on security here in Gati. Food is all about stability. We ensure that no matter how tough things are, there is a stability in the entire process of the farm. Food is all about survivability. We make sure that no matter how hard the situations are, the farm is going to what? Survive. Food is all about life. So we make agriculture life. We make agriculture the family, part of our family. Of course, anybody hearing this may say, you get family. I say, of course I get family. Agriculture cannot replace my family, but agriculture is family. And that is it. That is what it has been. And even the relationship that has bettered Agbatoken today. What has made Agbatoken what it is today? What is building Agbatoken is all about what? It's all about family, integration, continuity, planning, progress. Mike, partnership, integration, planning, innovation. You, Francis, partnership, integration, planning, progress. Ahoza, partnership, integration, planning, progress. Batcash, partnership, integration, planning, progress. You see? But does that mean that there will be no pain, no quarrels, no hurts, no challenges? No. In fact, the more you have those challenges, the more you have those quarrels, the more you have those pain, the better your story is going to be. The better the opportunities are going to be. The better progress you are going to make. Because at the end of the day, what really matters is that the pains of NFGCS is now coming in the fruits of Agbatoken for the greatness of our country. Thank you.
This one touched me.
Touched me too. We are also
wait, before you expect, don't expect it to that. You say the pain. Look at it. Yeah. Sometimes, usually, our male will get that. Say the pain of NFGCS is now, look at it, is like a ladder now. That pain. Because when you look at it, many people sweat for us to be here. That sweat, that toiling, that struggle, that confusion, that every single thing that have happened in the past, people died, has become like a ladder.
Yes,
now.
People died.
Yes, people died.
Two of my staff died here.
And may their soul rest in peace.
Yeah.
Has become like a ladder that Agbatoken is climbing into progress. So we need to understand something, that nothing is built. They say Rome is not built in a day, just like our brothers have said. Nothing is built in a day. It comes with proper planning. Let me even remove that proper set. Deliberate planning, because if you're not intentional about what you are doing, once you want to be intentional, like I just simply mentioned, you have to plan for a child's future. So once we are talking about the future of food, you have to plan. That's where our government has been failing. Over the years, people come to government, you spend 8 years without a deliberate plan. Even when you have a deliberate plan, you don't even have a deliberate way of executing it. So at the end of the day, it becomes a total and fatal failure. So the problem is, and has always been, that people don't sweat. We just look for how to take from here, take from there. We have to sweat. Look at it. It really touched me that he said the pain. This place was bush all. Was total bush when NFGCS started. But look at it now. We are sitting in a podcast studio in NFGCS Farming State. We have several places built inside the same bush, inside the same place that was once a bush. So there was a toiling. People that did all of this, they sweat. So, but now it has become a pacing ladder for us to climb into the future. So please, when we are talking about, we need to also look at it. When we are talking about the future of food, we're not playing. People are toiling in the bush bushes, in farms, in different aspects of Nigeria, different regions in Nigeria. And the problem is because there is no food, people, they are being attacked in their farms, terrorists, bandits, herdsmen, attacks, different attacks. So, but the moment people can understand that what these people are doing is not a joke, then we can actually know how to put a stop to what is happening. So Agbatoking, like we said, is a propel funding mechanism so that this toiling cannot be in vain, so that what has been happening can be refined, can be empowered, can be pushed, can be embodied. So we use plenty English, but the thing there is it needs to be empowered, and that is why NFDCS Farm Estate is a foundation for that empowerment, so that fundings can come, expansion can happen, food can be available, unemployment can be available. Many of our youths are there today, they don't have job. There is no job. Are you telling me so? We can have plenty of offices here and you have youths working as agronomists, as this, as that, as helping, building things that are helping farmers. But there is no avenue for that. And government is failing. Government is failing. I will repeat it 10 times. Government is failing. It is government that needs to provide for their people. What is the meaning of government? It's a government of the people, for the people, by the people. It is government that needs.
That is democracy, not government.
Okay, but
no, but you are right. The business of government is the safety and security of the people.
You can't be a president and you don't think about. See, let me be very frank with you. I go to sleep every day as the head of my family. I think about my wife and my daughter. So how will you be a government? Your family, yes, is there. But the moment you said you want to be the president, you say, Emil Loco, it is my turn to be the president. You have to wake up every single morning and you have to go back to sleep every single night thinking about Nigerians, thinking about ways that you can make life easy, that you can make farming of ease to people. And that is where government has failed, like we said. Government is not making, look at it. How will you, like the CBN stuff, how will you give a loan for about, raising it to 24 at this point that we are? So how can small, medium, because small, medium enterprise cannot even get, and most of the farmers are small, medium enterprise.
They can't.
SMEs, they can't. The BOI, the BOA, all of them, nothing is working. So that does it. And that is why we said, see, let's create a platform that can attract resources, the right resources that can go into productivity, that can make food available for you and me. So that, and that is the reason for Agbatoking. So let me give my brother
Agbatoking. I want you to see Agbatoking as it's a project by Agbadocast Technologies Limited, but it is a project that you are part of.
Yeah.
You are an integral part of Agbatoking. Who are the masses? Maybe me and you. So see Agbatoking as a form of a collective effort, whereby you want to do something. No one single person can do it.
Nobody.
The coming together of everybody can make us achieve. Yes, Agbatoking.
Government is everybody.
It is all encompassing. Yeah. So I will at this moment ask for people input. Let's have
I think we have one voice note, several voice notes. Let's go with one for now.
Let's play the voice note so that we can, if it's a question, we can answer. If we cannot answer,
I think the voice note is from Mani Mohammed.
Okay.
Mohammed Ahmed, Moman, Batcash National Secretary. So I'll just play the voice notes. He's actually greeting us. I believe you are hearing. You can send in your own voice notes. Okay, when you look at after hearing the voice notes, I believe he's trying to introduce himself, hearing, he's watching, and also viewing, and also hearing from us from Abuja, and he's the National Secretary of Badcatch. So, and he's really welcome on this show. So, like we said, you can send in your voice notes, you can call on the show, but when you need to understand because we are building a community, and the community is Agbadocast. We are building people that will change the future, and the future cannot be changed by one person. It can be done. Even our president, only him will change this country. And that is the reason why there is cabinets, there is several aspects of the government, so that everybody can put hands together and make a better policy, a better, what is it called? Better things, implementations, facilitations that can change the country. Now, Nigeria can be the biggest, country in the whole world, but we are failing in things that we need to do. So that's why it is our products, our own. Agbatokin is our own.
We already have
Namune.
Yes,
We
Namune,
have
it is our own.
Awanie.
It is our own. So if we
climatic
can't
conditions.
embrace it, if we can't push it, if we can't do anything with it, then we on our own have failed. It is our own. Just like you have a child, say that go school. If you don't go school tomorrow, that child will come fight you. Now you cause that. It is our own. So let's embrace it. I believe we have explained a lot. We have expounded a lot what Agbatoki is. And the website is there for you to check more of it, to know what it is. It is about the future of agriculture. It is about bringing finance into agriculture. It is about empowering the farmers. It is about food. Because the moment the farmers are empowered, what is going to happen next? They will produce food. There will be food for everybody. Nobody will be saying, see, we want bag of rice to go to 1,000 naira, 50 kg bag of rice to go. And it can be possible if we can make agriculture right. It can be very possible. So please, because if, I don't know what to say again.
We can take the comments of people too before we go to.
Yeah, somebody asked the question. So I'm going to display the question and just ask our leader. He said,
this Agbatoki is a good component. This is Idris Yahu Masani. This Agbatoki is a good component to partner with to increase food production in the country.
okay,
All
this
state
one, I'm
governments
showing the
need to
next one.
key in and support this Agbatoki initiative.
Yeah, that's good. For
Thank
me
you,
too.
Idris.
So the next one says, he said, what's from Abiodun or Lowry? He said, what is the agricultural plan of each of the 36 state governors in Nigeria, knowing fully well that land belongs to states? Of course, you see, all we are saying is we are asking the states to partner with Agbadovolution Technologies, the owner of Agbatoki, to call us and said, see, we have this land. We want to produce food for our people. We want our people to have food. That is all we are saying. And it is possible. See, they usually used to say, they say nothing is impossible. Nothing. Even people know they go moon before now, but they go moon now. Nothing is impossible. It will get to a point that they go, if the whole land don't food to the farm, we cannot go moon with the farm. Nothing is impossible. People are going to Mars. If it's possible, they will make Mars a land for farming. Nothing is impossible. So, but the moment many of us feel we don't fall down and say, God, this thing, it go hard. Though. If it go hard, it go hard. But if you want to make it simple, you can make it simple. So that's just it. Let our leader, say something about that.
That is the agricultural plan of each of the 36 state governors in Nigeria, knowing full well that land belongs to the state.
Well, I know that we're almost coming to the end of the podcast today.
Yes.
Okay. So we are literally rounding up, if I'm correct.
Yes.
The thing is this. Food production, agriculture is actually something that must begin from our local governments. Unfortunately, the states have not done enough. The local governments are non-existent. Non-existent when it comes to agricultural development and productivity. So what must happen is that there needs to be deliberate effort on the part of government to be able to do the right thing. If nothing is done at the rural level, it's almost impossible for the federal level to take care of the needs of agricultural productivity in Nigeria. So what we advise is that states should not just key into agricultural productivity, but key into Agbatoking. So that even though they will not control Agbatoking, they can benefit from Agbatoking.
Yes.
You cannot, nobody will control Agbatoking except those of us who are developing, building, activating, and managing it.
We're only managing, we're not controlling it.
But then, once the states show interest, once the local government becomes engaging, then we can become partners in progress. Because for so long, there has been no partner, there's been no synergy between the federal, the state, the local government, and the private sector. No synergy. Everybody seems to be doing what they like. In fact, they are more interested in workshop, conference, and seminar than in real investment in agriculture. We are telling them, change focus. Partner with those that know. Follow those where Sabi road, so that you don't go lost. You say, because at the end of the day, and we are closing this space soon. So this podcast soon. So this is very important for us to say. We want to solve the problem of insecurity. Agbatoking is what? Is your plug. You want to solve the problem of unemployment in rural Nigeria? Agbatoking is your plug. You want to solve the problem of rural agricultural productivity, increase in agricultural productivity? Agbatoking is your plug. Imagine if this country, the federal government, the state government, and the local government take 1 billion token at 650 naira. And we then invest that token, that returns, those funds into productivity across the country. Like Francis said, every local government, every senatorial district, every geopolitical zone, every federal constituency. Imagine if you have a farm estate, like the Energy Farm Estate, in all of those. Nigeria will produce so much food, we feed our people, then what happens? We then begin to process for exports.
Yes.
So you see, you chase dollar they run. You pursue dollar they run. But when you begin to produce, dollar going to chase you, you're going to make it form. Dollar going to come, you're going to step back. You know why? Because you get something to negotiate with. So, we're going to be continuing this podcast every Sunday and every Wednesday. Why are we doing this? Because it is important for the average Nigerian farmer to know that we've got his back. It's average for the average Nigerian farmer to know that we're thinking about them. It's very important for the average Nigerian farmers to know that if we solve the problem of finance, we solve the problem of productivity.
Yeah.
That if we solve the problem of productivity, we solve the problem of food availability. Once we solve the problem of food availability, we solve the problem of food security. Once we solve the problem of food security, we solve the problem of socio-cultural stability. And every nation wants to be stable. Every nation wants to be progressive. Every nation wants to grow. And innovation, technology have become factors that aids industrialization, that aids social stability. Technology makes life easier, better. Agbatoking is prime to make farming easier, better, and more interesting. You keep saying, get used to agriculture, get used to agriculture. If there is no money, how do you want to get them in?
It's not interesting.
Why do you think youth are going into Bet Niger? Because it's sharp. They're chasing money. Why do you think youth are into Yahoo Yahoo? It's because they want money. But once you are able to provide them an avenue for innovative thinking, an avenue for technological innovation, an avenue for a progressive mindset that is focused on creating solutions to a crisis that is bedeviling our people, you know what you do? We are going to convert that idle mind into a workshop of progressive growth and development. That is what agriculture does. That is what Agbatokin is hoping to achieve. That is what this country must know and understand right now. There is this popular saying that the future comment where the poor will have no food to eat but the rich. They never begin to top the rich today. You get small motor. You live for a small better house. The next thing they kidnap you. The poor are hungry. You have become their food. Think of. You drive for road with your small car. They say, bless that car. The car clean small. That guy get money. They knock you. They knock you into bush. Go struggle. Give them 1 million, 2 million, 10 million, 20 million. You know why? They don't shop the rich. And the rich, by definition of the poor man, is anybody who say look good.
Yeah.
Not even person who say get money. If you wear better clothes, you be rich man. If you shop 2-3 meal a day, you be rich man. Yes. If you drive motor come out for your house, you're a big man. You have not become meal. We have all become meal for them. We are safer in Gati than most of you in Abuja and the major cities in Nigeria. We are safer in the villages than most of you. You know why? It is because rural Nigeria is comfortable. Urban Nigeria is loaded with unemployed people who think they have money but they have nothing. Frustrated people. Angry people. Angry birds. You see that cartoon, Angry Bird? There are too many angry birds in the cities. They're the best.
Some of them don't always grab.
Exactly. They just see somebody just carry small motor at house. Everybody look at that guy.
They don't fly, go see.
Never get money. They will go do it. So Agbatokin is saying all over the world, anybody who gets small thing, small money, come and buy and grow food and feed the people so that they can become asset, not liability. Yeah. Rural Nigeria is a gold mine that has become a quagmire and a land mine. Rural Nigeria is a gold mine. Not when they grow for Nigeria. Everything grows in this country. Everything. But guess what? We're struggling. They'll kidnap you in the town and bring you to the villages. You know why? Because the gold mine has become what? A land mine. And what? A quagmire. So, let us help you change the story by making sure that society mobilizes across the country into food for your people. But we are saying what? Let us support, provide food and stabilize the Nigerian state.
Yeah.
That is what this podcast is all about. Simple, easy, available, viable, and interesting. All of Nigeria is going to see changes. Come April, when we launch, with the pre-launch, no, sorry, not the pre-launch, with the pre-sale, when we start the pre-sale on the 25th of April, you are going to see, not magic, because there's no magic here, it's hard work. They said magic, a miracle is when opportunity meets hard work. Yeah. You are working hard, opportunity will come your way. They said he who does not buy the ticket cannot win the lottery. They said somebody wins 60 million for Bet Naija. If you not play, you go win. Good. That's what it is. So Agbatokin is energy, is Agbado Evolution Technologies playing the game, talking to the world, connecting with the world, and telling the world that we are ready. And the world is saying, what do you mean you are ready? He said, we have done it before. What do you mean you have done it before? He said, that's Energy CS Farm Estate. It's our product. We have been able to build from nothing. We have built a 15 billion naira empire. Yes. And the world will say, you don't mean it. So if you can build 15 billion naira empire from nothing, then if we give you $1 billion, you can build $100 billion empire from 1 billion. That is what it's all about. So you're going to be hearing us twice in a week, Wednesdays and Sundays. Our time for start off is 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. 2 hours, 3 hours, but today we started a little bit late. Technicalities, we are still building the studio, as you can see. We're going to get better. We're going to improve. We're going to make progress. And then you can always join us, knowing that this is our country. With a jackpot to get somebody build, we go sit down here, build this country. We die here. So. We're not going to leave this country. We go there here. Yes, as I talked to you, I don't have my international passport. I didn't renew it. Yes, I don't have it. We will build this country here. And that is what Agbatokin is all about. With our partners and team, we can make Nigeria work. And thank you for listening to us today. It's always a pleasure being able to talk to you and to talk to Nigerians. Over to you guys.
Okay. Because of the technicalities and several things have happened, we want to really thank you for staying tuned, and we believe that you have learned a lot about Agbatoki and about the future of food. Now, like we said, food is not a miracle. Food is not is not something that is unnecessary. Food is our daily and basic necessity. Without food, we cannot live. Without food, we cannot walk. Without food, we cannot be a nation. Without food, we cannot be who we are. It is food that makes us who we are. Now, when you look at it, we're on the whole context, what we are looking at is we need to make food available so that every other thing can be available. Imagine you have a house. You have a house that you have a key that when you open that house, and they call it the future of food, when you open it and you enter, you see several other opportunities coming, which means employment is going to come. Insecurity is going to be erased. Several things are going to be erased the moment you can open that door that leads to food. And the door that leads to food is all about empowering the farmers, empowering the farmers all over the country, all over Nigeria, all over Africa. Now, remember, Agbatoking is beginning from Nigeria, but it's going into Africa, going into the international market, going into Europe, Asia, every single place. Every single person needs to know what Agbatoking is. Agbatoking simply means making food available for everyone. And by that, we are saying that every token holder, every stakeholder are going to be staking in favor of food. They are going to see, this is just the beginning. And we are saying it is us that can change the future. It is us that can change the narrative. Without us, there won't be us. So that's just it. So thank you so much for being on the show with us. It is really a pleasure having somebody out there that is listening. It is not every day you hear people listening to you. But we are very glad that you have listened. But what you need to do next is to share the message. You have to share the message. This video that you are watching right now, you have to share it until you reach the ministers, the president, everybody that you need to reach so that it can be changed. Now remember, the change cannot be done by us alone. It can be done with all of us. Now remember, I say us alone and all of us. So it needs to reach everybody. It needs to reach everybody. Share the message, even to your timeline. Ask all your friends to share it to their friends. To share. See, one of their friends can be the minister tomorrow. So let them share it to their friends. So please and please, we want to also say thank you for being on the show with us. I don't know if my brother here have something to say to our listeners before we close.
I just want to say that today I stumbled upon something. I want to make it quick. And from the government, and it says we need $35 billion every year to 2040 or 2040 something to solve the problem of the infrastructural deficit in the country. $35 billion every year till 2040. When you go reach your community, when the infrastructural development go reach your community, that is why we say, look, by the time we just keep living our life, giving everything to this government, these people are even overwhelmed by their own whatever they put on their self. So we must form a kind of a government or something. And that's why Agbatoki is coming in.
It's a government, but
So
we don't fight government.
No, we're not.
It's not a government that fights. It's a government that enables the government to do the right thing.
We can help the government to because I don't want to use some languages, but we can help the government to stay focused, to be able to achieve $35 billion every month.
Even if they're not, Agbatoking is an entity that is not of the government.
Yes.
So it's a private entity that is solutions on making food available.
Exactly.
That has this vision and aims to make sure that there is food available for everyone. Now, this is a good thing. We are not fighting the government. We are calling on the government to do it with us.
Exactly.
Because, like I said, us alone cannot do it.
That's why
all of us.
That's why I said they need $35 billion.
Yes.
I mean $35 billion every year to 2040.
Imagine, they even
So
get-
for
they-
them
they
to-
need that too.
You understand? They have the. I saw it online.
Yes,
Today.
it's-
So
it's
if
quite
they do
funny.
that, how do they want to have it when
Mm.
they don't even know they don't even have the money to feed their people? So that
People
one is
never
for
have a
infrastructure. So they have to partner with Agbadocast. They have to. This is also.
Let's
giving
make
an
food
opportunity
available
to
first.
Calling on
Okay, I
people.
want job. Everybody want job.
My oga says stomach infrastructure na in the life.
Might be the first
When you know eat, you become hungry, you become angry, you become frustrated, you become disabled.
You become a bandit.
You understand? You
That's
become
it.
a
You
kidnapper.
become a terrorist.
You become a
The moment
terrorist.
you're hungry and there is no food available, that is what is going to happen.
So thank you for sharing your time with us today. And it's an ongoing conversation. And as time goes on, we are also planning to bring people from these viewers
Listeners.
to come and participate
Come and talk.
via whatever network we can
We'll look
use.
for a way you can
So
connect.
you can
through
be
Zoom or
part of
something.
it. You can every time we can engage the audience. It's a collective stuff. Agbatoking is Nigeria.
It's our own.
It's our own.
Mhm.
So it's not something that is just out of the space. So thank you for your time today. My name remains Francis. Thank you.
Okay, and finally, before our big brother in the house, round it up, Agbatoking is our own. So the moment we are done with this, share this message. Let it reach everyone. It is us that can make everything right for us. Remember, the future belongs to the person that plan, belongs to the person that work, belongs to the person that do the hard work. That's why several people are reaping from their hard work and their labor right now because they plan for the future. Now we don't want to remain where we are. And that is the reason why we are introducing this. And even in the next 100 years, when I will not be here, maybe I'll be with my walking stick as a 90-something years old man. I'll still be talking about Agbatoking. Yeah, calm down.
Take off the
Now 100 years now.
100 years plus your age now.
I'll be
You'll
90-something.
Don't mind this guy.
Okay. Again, like I said, thank you. Please join us every Wednesday and Saturday and Sunday by 8 p.m. It's a 2 hours podcast.
Yes, 2 hours.
It's usually from 8 to 10.
Yes.
And the last time it was up to almost 11.
Yeah,
But it's a 2 hours podcast. And we're going to be having this conversation around topics. We're going to be inviting guests who spend time with us in the farm and then join us. It's currently it's a 5-man podcast studio. And we're going to improve with time. With time, we're going to have more people, more cameras and everything. And with time, we're also going to be getting sponsors for this program.
Yeah.
To aid, to make it easier.
Mm.
Someone said the other day that you are advertising free for stout. This is palm wine, so I'm advertising this one for myself. But for what it's worth, we are happy that this is started and it's ongoing. Believe in agriculture. Believe in food security. Think about national stability. Think about socio-cultural stability. Think about sustainable economic development and growth. Think about Agbatoking. Think about solutions to food security. Think about Agbado evolution technologies. Think about how you can farm to feed the country. Think about Energy CS Farm Estate. Think about communicating to the Nigerian people. Think about Agbadocast, the Agbado Evolution app. I'm Retin Tedeke. That is Michael Onimisi. This is Francis Oshayomi. Thank you. Thank you for giving us the opportunity, for listening to us. And you can be rest assured that going forward, we'll be ready on time. We'll be better prepared. The systems will be set up. We are not media people. We are farmers. But then, we want to be all in one so that we can deliver the right messaging to you and so that it can also become a pressure. This is also a pressure platform for our governors, our local government chairmen, our president, our ministers to do the right thing, to sit up and do the right thing for farmers.
Share it, even to the media platform.
Because that is the key for our own growth.
Let them hear it.
It is, the French will say bon voyage, au revoir, whatever is if that is correct. and the woman will say, "You there? Thank you very much." What will your mama say? You ask them to Odaro. Say go be. What would you?
Grandma will say, "I don't want."
I don't want. See you on Sunday.
I want to say good night to everyone. And finally, we're going to play a video. The video we keep playing is a promotional video of Agbadocast. Okay, yes. We're going to keep playing it. It's on all our platforms, so you can replay it, you can share it. Like we said, let this message reach everybody. Let it reach the people that needs to be reached, so that change can be changed. So thank you so much for being with us this night, and I don't want.
Capable of feeding a nation in need of food, jobs.
Now 500 kilometers transformer, they serve the whole community.
So what did we do? We called on Nigerians from all over the world. Like we are calling on the human race now to say, look, bombs don't produce food. War don't produce food. Conflict don't produce food. The relationship that we create among our people, the solutions that we are ready to focus on is what creates food.
Join into this Agbadocast. With this, I believe the life of agriculture in the state